All right. So tell me about how this office came to be here in Atlanta.
Sure. GLAAD was originally individual chapters around the United States, and when GLAAD took on a national role and decided to be a national organization, what they did was they looked at all the chapters in the country and they saw where they had a large volunteer base. Atlanta was one of those where it was a very active chapter, so they opened an office here.
Okay. And it's your home. Atlanta is your home, is that correct?
Atlanta is my home now.
Yeah.
I'm from West Virginia. My last residence was West Virginia, where I was a founding member of the Pride Committee for the whole state.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And what are some of the main things that GLAAD is focusing on right now?
Well, GLAAD always focuses on fair and accurate reporting in the media, as well as inclusion in the media. Oftentimes, we are faced with defamation by omission, is what I call it, and that is that there are not enough positive stories about lesbian and gay people in the media, in the newspapers, radio, television, magazines, all the media, internet, I should add to, which is one of our new areas that we're looking into. We also, of course, I'm sure you've seen a lot about the Dr. Lars Schlesinger television show, and we've done a lot in that area. We're focusing on Eminem, the rap artist. We have a lot of irons in the fire. I mean, we also do a lot of daily work. My work here in Atlanta focuses on newspapers like the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and the coverage that our community is getting there. Also the television stations, special interest magazines, things like that here in Atlanta, but also in the whole Southeast, which is part of my coverage.
What do you find it to be a little tougher in the Southeast than maybe the rest of the country is experiencing?
I think that every area in the country has its unique advantages and disadvantages, and the people in the Southeast have been very welcoming to me and very open-armed, so I've been very happy about that. I think that the Southeast suffers from a stereotype of not being as progressive as other parts of the nation, and in some areas I find that to be true, but mostly I find people to be very, very hospitable.
Yes, that's true. I think so. Let's see. Also, with Atlanta and all our media, how do you find that we are portraying the gay community?
I think it's come a long way. There has been many strides in the past year even with some of the mainstream media on their coverage of lesbian and gay issues. And just recently in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution there was an extensive article about a transgender person, and it was a very positive story, very good story, and GLAAD actually is using that as an alert nationwide to tell people, hey, call the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and tell them you appreciate that kind of coverage.
Yeah.
I think that as society moves forward and understands that what we are doing is equal rights and not special rights, and all those arguments that go along with that, I think what we're seeing is a reflection of that in the popular culture, which includes media.
And you were telling me earlier about how maybe all of these organizations can move together in the one building, the Pride community.
Sure. I know that the Atlanta Lesbian and Gay Center, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, Atlanta Gay and Lesbian Center, I think it is moving to the former Methodist Center on Ralph McGill, and several other organizations will be moving into that building and creating kind of a synergy of our community groups where we can all work together for the betterment of our community. We're very excited about that. Some are moving in this month, and then others will be moving in over the next year to 2 years.
Well, that should work.
I
That
think
should
it'll
work
be
good.
wonderful.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Sure.
And we appreciate you talking with us.
Well, thank you. Anytime. Anything I can do for you, I'd be happy to do that.
Any kind of fundraiser, events, anything like that that you have, anything you think we should be aware of, please.
I will, because we do have some good stuff coming up.
Good.
Actually, in September, at the end of September, we have our Fairness Awards, and this is the first time Atlanta is going to be hosting the Fairness Awards. It's something that we've done only in one other city, and those awards are going to go to people in Atlanta, people or businesses in Atlanta that have gone beyond the call of duty, is what I call it, to help or support the lesbian and gay community. And this year we have 2 great recipients, which I can't tell you yet, but they are great recipients. I'm very proud that they are going to get the first Fairness Awards in Atlanta, and both of these groups should be very proud of that.
Okay.
And in December, we have GLAAD Tidings, which is a fundraising event. So I'd love for you to come for that. It's a silent auction and entertainment and that kind of, just sort of a holiday-themed event, which will be a fundraiser for us here.
That will be fun. We'd love to be there.
Oh, good. Well, both of those things would be nice. The Fairness Awards are at the Four Seasons, so it'll be a little fancier.
Sure. Wow, how exciting. I'm so glad that you're here now full-time.
I think, I'm really happy that I'm here. This has been my dream job, and since I've been working in the private sector in public relations, I've always wanted to use my powers for good, is what I call it, instead of evil. And this GLAAD has given me that opportunity to come here and really believe in the work I do. And they've made a commitment to Atlanta and to the Southeast that this is my job, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to serve this area, and by that commitment, GLAAD has really made a step forward in their work.
Definitely. And you can just change the whole world, hopefully, soon.
Well, we hope to.
You made such great strides so far.
Sure. In addition to the work we do in the regions, I mean, we have people, our entertainment division that works in Hollywood is always advising television and movie makers about their scripts. And helping them be sensitive to our issues, understand what could be construed as defamation and how to remedy that and make it better. They're always pitching story ideas to the talk shows and news programs and things like that. So not only are we doing this regionally, but we're doing it on a national level, an international level. We now are on the internet and doing a lot of studying about on the internet about being denied access, the controls that you can buy now for your computer, and how those affect our lesbian and gay community.
Okay, like children, they might not be able to get onto GLAAD, for example.
Sure, and I think that there's a big problem when internet software that controls your computer keeps someone who is questioning whether they want to be alive or not, and they want to use the computer as a resource to find out information, maybe from PFLAG. And the internet blocking software doesn't allow them to do that, and I think that there's a lot of problem with that.
Yeah, that is a big problem. Yeah, I didn't even think about that aspect.
Sure, that's many of the studies that GLAAD is doing right now does focus on internet access and how that affects our youth, because we are very attuned to the youth in the lesbian and gay community, because we recognize that suicide rates are highest among lesbian and gay teenagers, and we don't want that to be a fact. We want to lose that. We don't want to be number one anymore. We want to lose that. So, and the internet has allowed a lot of growth for our community in general, and not just for youth. And so we're focusing quite a bit on that now too.
Oh, well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
And with everything.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. For Out TV Atlanta, this has been Leanne Reed with Kevin McClellan from GLAAD. Hello, this is Leanne Reed from Out TV Atlanta. We are at the GLAAD Media Resource Center to talk to Kevin McClellan, who's the manager of the Southeast region of GLAAD.
Baker.
Hello? Hello? Hey. Yes. Oh, yes. 8:30. You know when